Hello and welcome to my short video on classroom assessment techniques. My name is John Bolton and I am recording this from the shore of Lesser Slave Lake. So the wonders of modern technology. Thank you very much. So the technique that I've chosen is one called goal setting and matching. Now I chose this because when I went through the text, the Angelo and Cross text, it appeared to be relevant to two sides that I've taught in the last 5 years. So those two things being outdoor and physical education, and then more recently a mechanical apprenticeship. So what is a goal? So a goal, as defined by the Oxford Online Dictionary, is the object of a person's ambition. So with regard to this particular technique, a goal is what the student hopes to achieve through the course. So through the PID program and reading that we've done, we've learned that relevance is a recurring theme, something very important when it comes to adult education. So Malcolm Knowles' sixth assumption discusses how, as a person matures, they need to know why they need to learn something. So they need to know that it's relevant, that how is it really going to benefit them. So that, for me, directly correlates to this particular technique. We need to know that what you're learning or what you want to learn is relevant to you. It's something which you need to learn. And then the purpose of this particular technique is to understand how a student fits in a particular course or program. So it's more of a comparison between the student's learning goals and the teacher's instructional goals. Now, the way that we go about this is, number one, you as the instructor need to clearly understand and articulate your instructional goals for the course. If you yourself don't understand this, then you can't justifiably expect your students to give you answers which you can really analyze and see how they fit, because you don't really know the basics yourself. So the first thing you need to ask your students to do is to write down 3 to 5 goals on a piece of paper. So when they write these goals, they need to be specific. So they don't want to be general. They don't want to be, I want to do well at this course, because you would hope that by the nature of being on the course, you would want to do well. So they need to be specific learning goals. So actual things. For instance, with my mechanical apprenticeship, a student may well want to learn about gas laws, Bernoulli's theorem, how an engine actually works. That's the sort of things that I would be looking for. So they would need to be taking around 1 minute per goal. They need to be specific to learning, like I said. And then you need to ask the student to rank those goals. So if they had only one choice of the 5 that they put down, say they had one choice, which one would they choose? That would be number 1, and then so on and so forth. Once they've finished, you then collect those responses, and then it's really up to you what you do with that and how you communicate to your learners, how you're going to analyze it and then feed back to them. So you may well take them in and have a really quick scan through and work through a group discussion right then. Or you may take them away that evening and sit down, thoroughly digest them, and then maybe take the students through a one-on-one session and say, okay, these are your responses, this is how they fit to the course, or this is how they don't fit to the course. So that's really up to you as the instructor to define that. A few keys to success then. Timing is critical. So for an elective program, a good example would be the PIDP program. So myself and my fellow learners, students, have decided or chosen to be on this course to better ourselves as instructors. We want to learn about andragogy. We want to learn about assessment techniques, etc., etc. So we already know, you would hope at least, what you want to achieve from a course. So you could probably ask an elective program on the first day, maybe lesson 2, say. Whereas if a person has been told to be on a course, then they may well need a day to really digest what the course is about, so that they can make a fair go at actually writing down their needs from the course. So timing is critical. You need to make an effort to respond to the student goals. So it's no use getting them to write all these things down and then to completely ignore it, or ignore 70% of them if only 3 of them interest you. You need to keep those learners involved, keep that positive learning environment. So if you're making sure that you're responding to them all, then you're going to keep those learners engaged, and you're going to make them feel more involved with the actual course. You need to be open and honest. So let's, for instance, say that a student's learning goals do not correspond at all to the instructional goals. Then there's a very good chance that that student is probably on the wrong course. So you need to facilitate that as best you can, and either give them options or with your particular course, or suggest maybe an alternative. I need to try and incorporate goals which are recognized by many. So if you've got a reoccurring goal, then chances are that needs to be part of the syllabus. So you need to also understand what is negotiable with your own instructional goals. What can you adapt or change, if anything at all? So the plus points then to this particular technique is that it increases student motivation, especially if they're seeing that their goals directly correlate to the instructional goals, and they can see that what they're doing is relevant, and they've almost got an input into the actual course itself. You can create shared class goals through collecting this data, so this information. You're creating involvement from the outset. So, like I said, if your learner feels like they're having an input into the course, then they feel involved with it, and it will increase that drive, that motivation for them to learn and be a part of that course. You incorporate the student goals. You create that personal awareness, or indeed a lack of their goals. So they might well have a whole bunch of things they want to learn, but they also might sit there and go, oh, actually, I have no idea what I want to learn from this course. So it might make them think about it a lot more. And it also allows faculty to determine the overlap of those goals. So the limitations to this then are that sometimes, or more often not rather, students are accustomed to accepting faculty goals. So we're brought through our educational careers, if you like, through high school, being told what we need to be learning. So students might well find it very difficult to communicate what they want from a course. If students' goals don't match, then you may well see that student remove themselves from the course. So if you are bound by pressures for a retention into your course, then this might not be the technique for you to use. So in conclusion then, it's a very, very simple technique, a great one for you as an instructor to understand and what your students actually want from the course, and if they're indeed on the correct course. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.